Every day, thousands of founders hustle hard, grind nonstop, pour their soul into ideas nobody understands, fighting for attention in a noisy world. But ask yourself, why do some founders barely make a sound and still dominate everything? Why do they move like shadows, unseen but unstoppable? It's crushing when launching feels like screaming into the void, battling algorithms, trends, hype machines that promise magic but deliver noise. You're exhausted, questioning if all the stress, the chaos, is even worth it when nothing seems to break through. The frustration is brutal, seeing flashy success stories plastered everywhere while you're stuck invisible. As if this game rewards showmanship more than substance. You want to build something real, lasting, powerful, but the louder the hype, the more it feels like a mirage. You get trapped wondering if you need followers, endorsements, viral moments, or just endless self-promotion to win. It's a pitching war with no rules, a spotlight fight that often drowns out the quiet genius playing a smarter game. Here's the brutal truth. Real dominance doesn't come from shouting louder. It comes from knowing what to own and what to ignore. Some founders move like no hype is needed because they mastered the secret art of invisible power. They live in a reality where hype is a hollow mask, not a weapon. They aren't consumed by short bursts of spotlight, trends, or applause. Instead, they build foundations so deep nobody even sees the tremors until everything around them crumbles and reinvents. You're not missing energy or passion. You're missing the right play, the right alliance, the right kind of obsession. This isn't about being loud. It's about being precise, relentless, and ruthlessly selective. First, stop chasing the noise machine. The world endlessly pushes you to be louder, to engage more by any means, to build a brand louder than anyone else's. But noise is cheap and easy. It's the background static drowning the signal. The founders who dominate without hype have one thing in common. They build their own signal. That means everything they do, every conversation, every decision, is aimed at creating something so uniquely valuable that hype isn't necessary. Others hear them not because they shout, but because what they have to offer is sharp, rare, and impossible to ignore when you know where to look. The obsession shouldn't be with visibility, it should be with value that compels visibility naturally. Second, build alliances that fire on your wavelength. The painful trap for many is trying to play the game solo, or sticking only to people who remind them of themselves. That's weakness disguised as independence. The smartest founders find people who are radically different from them, who criticize fiercely, push hard, and bring perspectives that shatter their comfort zones. This isn't about polite networking or shallow connections. This is about creating alliances so brutally honest and complementary that together they become unbreakable. In a world that forces conformity, true power lies in forming these rare, nuanced, and almost rebellious collaborations. You don't need more connections. You need sharper, transformative ones. Third, embrace patience like your life depends on it. In a world running on instant gratification, artificial attention spans, and constant feedback loops, patience is subversive. The founders who rise quietly and sustain dominance over time understand that everything worthwhile grows underground first, roots forming slowly, power accumulating invisibly, impact compounding silently. Instant hype is a poison that tricks you into thinking you're winning when you're only buying temporary applause. True progress is a slow burn. It's hanging on when others have quit. It's showing up every day with more focus, more discipline, and less rush. Patience is the weapon that allows you to outlast hype cycles and emerge stronger each time they fade. Fourth, kill the need for external validation. This sounds simple, but it's the hardest thing. The world conditions you to seek approval, likes, shares, awards, public acceptance. Founders who dominate without hype have shut that down. Their motivation isn't based on cheers from the crowd, but on a clear, relentless, internal compass. They build because they must, not because they want a show. This internal sovereignty is what protects them when the world tries to define their worth by external metrics. Once you reclaim that, you unlock a freedom so fierce that no algorithm, trend, or hater's noise will distract or derail you. Fifth, terrorize your limits. The founders who dominate don't just push boundaries, they annihilate mental walls that cage their potential. They don't ask, "What if I fail?" They ask, "How far can this go if I refuse to quit?" Fear isn't a signal to stop, it's fuel to go further. They don't settle for the easy, the known, the safe. They rewire their entire mindset to welcome every failure, every setback, every moment of uncertainty as evidence that they're marching into uncharted, fertile territory. This obsession with transformation is what makes their dominance unstoppable. Ordinary founders fear risk and look for safety nets. These founders have no nets because they trust their relentless grit more than the world's promises. Sixth, craft and protect your space fiercely. The world is designed to drown you with distractions, noise, and shortcuts, pretending to be solutions. Dominant founders build a fortress around their time, focus, and energy. Social media limits, selective communication, ritualistic deep work. It's a war for attention, and the best know that attention is their most precious currency. They are ruthless gatekeepers, protecting their creative fuel from anything sterile or draining. This means saying no more than yes. This means making silence and solitude their allies. This focus armor is what makes them invulnerable to transient hype and distractions. Seventh, become the master of narratives, but not the public kind. The founders who dominate without hype write the story they live every day inside, their mind, their vision, their identity. This internal narrative powers their every move, fuels endurance, and aligns their actions without needing external applause. They don't rely on external storytellers or viral moments. They become the storyteller of their own fate, impervious to noise because their story has already been told, and it's unshakable. This self-authorship is the secret engine behind their quiet dominance. Now take all these pieces and combine them. Understand that dominating without hype means rewiring your entire approach. It's brutal and lonely because it refuses every easy escape hatch the system offers. It demands sovereignty, critique, transformation, selectiveness, and patience. The code of the rare. It means becoming so clear on what matters, so ferocious about holding space, and so fearless about breaking rules that hype becomes meaningless. Because when you truly build from the edge, beyond comfort and consensus, your power isn't something that can be manufactured or faked. It's raw, it's deep, and it's lasting. So if you feel that unbearable tension inside you, the fire that refuses to be smothered by comfort or convention, that restless drive to be more, create more, redefine more, this message is for you. You don't need to play the hype game. You don't need to beg for visibility or borrow strength from fleeting trends. Your work, your idea, your destiny is waiting on the other side of all that noise. Stand firm, be patient, build alliances that burn like you do, guard your focus like a fortress, kill the need for outside approval, terrorize limitations, and own your narrative fiercely. This is how founders dominate without hype. This is how they turn invisible moves into unstoppable power. And if the world is built to erase the exceptional, then build your own world. A world where your fire isn't just visible, but unstoppable. Because dominance without hype isn't a myth or a lucky loophole. It's the brutal reward of founders who understand that true power lives in the silent, the patient, and the relentless few. The world forgets them at first, but history remembers what they build forever. The silence about their work is only the calm before the storm they create, and that storm changes everything. You are not here to be loud, you are here to be unstoppable. Every moment you hesitate to chase hype, remember, you're choosing freedom. Every second you invest in depth over drama, you are building true power. Every minute you hold your ground in a world desperate to sell you noise, you edge closer to dominating your future like no hype can ever do. Keep burning. Keep building. Keep becoming. The world is waiting for those who dare to dominate without the broken noise of hype. Because when you do, you don't just win. You redefine what winning really means.